Yes, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. We're going to start the first presentation for the class 2022, and I'm going to get immediately presenting this young musician that is presenting first this year. His name is Joshua Achiron, and I'm going to read a little bit about you, Joshua, okay? Joshua is a guitarist and composer from Atlanta with a dual degree in classical and jazz guitar performance from the Eastern School of Music. He has been nationally recognized as a jazz soloist and was finalist in the International Wilson Center Guitar Competition. He has played with artists such as Gary Varsace, John DeVersa, Marquis Hill, and Wycliffe Gordon. His presentation, his culminating experience is called The Question is the Answer. And we would like to welcome as a committee member, Maestro Bruno Raberg. Thank you for being here. Of course, our artistic director, Danilo Perez, and I was his advisor during this semester. So please welcome Joshua with a nice applause. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much. My name is Joshua, and thank you so much for being here today. I'm extremely excited to present my CE project, The Question is the Answer, a motivational score for young musicians and artists. So about a year ago, around this time, I was celebrating my graduation from the Eastman School of Music and getting ready to start my master's at the Berklee Global Jazz Institute. And as time crept closer to day one of orientation, I realized something. This master's degree was the last thing standing between me and the real world. A world that's unlike any other in history. When I was thinking about all of this, I started to ask myself, how am I going to make the most out of this amazing opportunity of being at Berklee for my master's? How am I going to prepare myself to go out into this world as a musician? What should my culminating experience be? And then on a frigid September morning, I got a voice memo.
What motivates you? How do you know when you found your place in the world? And what would you do if fear didn't exist?
It was from one of my former classmates. He heard that John Patitucci was the guest artist of the week at Berklee Global and had some rather deeper questions for him. This student had just graduated and needed some guidance and wisdom through his difficult transition from college to the real world, as did I. Then it hit me. I realized I'm not the only one who's about to go out into this very strange world. All of my classmates and peers were about to do the exact same thing. This realization inspired me to start my project. I set out to take recordings of questions that were sent in by my peers and interview these amazing faculty members and artists that surrounded me at Berklee, as well as other professors around the world who specialize in the development of young women and men. I would then use the recordings from the interviews to compose a 4-movement suite containing these themes that arose naturally during my conversations with the professors. The first movement of the suite is based on the questions that were sent in by my classmates over the course of the year. The second movement, Dr. Carol Dweck talked to me about approaching mistakes with excitement, how to be patient during the learning process, and how to create a healthy mindset through adversity. The third movement, John Patitucci, Lil John Roberts, and Marco Pinataro discussed the relationship with spirituality and music and how they used it for healing themselves as well as the others around them. And in each interview, the professors all talked about the importance of family and support that it brings. So for my fourth movement, I wrote a piece dedicated to my family and everyone who has been a supportive guide to get me to where I am today. The goal of this project was to use the recordings of each interview as a compositional tool in my music and try and provide some type of direction and guidance for me and the other young artists who are about to embark on this journey into this terrifying world. But what is this world? Why is it so different now than it was 25 years ago to make this huge leap into the chaos of real life? Well, let me paint you a picture. Imagine you are in your early 20s, about to go out into the world with a degree in the arts, maybe some debt, but a lot of hope. Now let me add some information. While you were in school, there was a global pandemic that not only changed the way art and music was created and consumed, but it changed the way we lived our lives forever. During your time in school, war, crises, and famine occurred all over the world. And all while this was happening, the United States was on fire. Protests and racial tensions stormed the country due to police brutality. Shootings and gun violence had gotten out of control, and the country engaged in its worst political turmoil in its recent history. Now close your eyes. Imagine you are that artist in your early 20s. You just got out of school and you are about to go into that very scary world I just painted for you. Do you have any questions? Because we did.
How has teaching made you a better musician?
What would you do if fear didn't exist?
How do you forget everything you know while remembering everything?
How can you stay calm in certain high-pressure situations?
You've already played it before.
How does spirituality release your spirit? Hey, John. In what way?
What moves
Have you found healing through music?
Play.
That was the first movement of my suite called Questions. Now, as I was going along in my master's around the month of October, I began to approach a very difficult time. I wasn't adjusting to the city well, and a lot of things were being thrown at me. I just felt as if I wasn't supposed to be here. I felt that I wasn't talented or good enough to play with my peers or even talk to them. I was terrified of making a mistake or saying the wrong thing in front of them. And then I came across this amazing book. It's called Mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck. This book helped me look at the world differently and explore the different mindsets she describes as fixed and growth mindset. Fixed mindset is the belief that your talents are fixed traits that are immovable. Because of this mindset, you spend a lot of time documenting your skills rather than trying to improve your talent rather than just focusing on developing them. A growth mindset is the belief that your most basic abilities can be developed through the dedication and hard work. Your brains and talent are just the starting point for your development. This view creates a love of learning and a resilience that makes your potential limitless. I had the opportunity to speak with author Dr. Carol Dweck, and I included our interview in my second movement of the suite in order to relay her message to the rest of my peers. Here's the second movement called Mindset.
The thing is not to talk someone into a growth mindset. It's to help them enter a world where abilities grow, mistakes are a vehicle for making that happen. insights. Well, you say you make a mistake and you say, wait a minute, that was a mistake, but it sounded pretty good. Mistakes don't mean you're not good at something. Make mistakes on purpose. Think about it.
For my third movement, it's all about spirituality and how it exists within music. I struggled with this topic in the past, but after sitting down with John Patitucci, Lil John Roberts, and Marco Pinataro, I was able to learn more about the role spirituality plays within music and how it truly has the power to heal you and the others around you. This is a worthy mission to embark on, as it makes for a more meaningful way to approach life and music. Here is the third movement called spirituality.
Put a community first over your individual thing. I think you're going to function well in many kind of places in society. Whether you think or feel like me, that doesn't matter. I think anybody can get something out of when you reach out and you're dealing with someone who doesn't have the chances you've had, and you encourage them. They believe something, but their actions tell a different tale. If you're not actively involved in lifting people up, then it's just a philosophy that doesn't really have any oomph behind it.
Every day that I wake up, I pray first. Thank God that I'm alive, that I can breathe.
Again, as a husband and father, you have people in your very own house who can hold a mirror up to you and show you when you're not walking the walk.
You play music and not be spiritual. Get spiritual. Like, we play music to make people feel good and make them heal. They feel those notes in the scale. They all represent a feeling.
Being an artist is not just a self-obsessed thing. You can use music for social change. You can really, use it for healing, and it actually is a very powerful tool. And I think it makes for a much richer life.
For my final movement, I wanted to write about something very special to me. So this movement is about family and how important it is moving forward into this world. During my interviews, the importance of family came up with just about everyone. But I decided rather than just sharing what the interviewers had to say, I wanted to feature my own friends and family members in action, getting me through these tough times and calling to check on me to show me their love and support throughout this year. This movement is to show that with the right people around you supporting and believing in you, you can truly do anything. Here's the final movement called Family. Hey, it's Josh. Leave a message.
Hi, Joshy boy. It's 11 o'clock, and I just wanted to see how your day was and say goodnight. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, I love you. Night, night.
Hi, Josh, Grandma. I'm calling to say hello, see how you are, and I understand there was a lot of snow and everything. All right, call me. I will. In and out of the house. Or what's tonight? Saturday. I'll be home tonight. All right, honey. Take care.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Just want to wish you best of luck on your recital. Can't wait to hear you.
Best of luck, buddy.
We're so looking forward to it. We're so proud of you.
See you tonight.
Okay. Bye.
Wondering how you doing. Hope everything's well, my man. Come visit me
You'll have a lot of great adventures in your life, and you'll have some disappointments. And you can always come home. I love you, big boy. Hope you have a lot of success. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you.
So I went through this year looking for answers. And although I would find them, I quickly realized that with each answer came a great responsibility for a better question. As I learned more about mindset, spirituality, and the importance of family, I found that learning about them was just half the battle. Now I'm going to have to apply what I've learned and ultimately find better questions through life experiences I can't wait to meet. And I'd like to thank everyone who was a part of this project, Daniel Babai, all the members of my band who recorded this music. I'd like to thank Marco and Danilo for having the opportunity, for giving me the opportunity to be here, and all my people I interviewed, and Bruno Rimberg for being my committee member. And thank you so much for everything. I appreciate it.
Congratulations, Josh. Can I have the microphone? Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. No, wait a second. We start the section of the presentation where the panel and the faculty will ask you questions and comments. And since I was your advisor, but you have Maestro Bruno Raber as a panelist, so usually we give the first question to the member of the panel that is there. So if you can give that to him. Yeah.
Thank you, Josh. That was a beautiful 20 minutes in every way. The visuals were quite amazing. That friends of yours who had done or the animation I was thinking about.
Those were people that it was published and.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You're touching on a lot of different things. That the scope of your project feels really wide to me, because it's about music, but it's about spirituality, as you said, and the wider, bigger picture, how it feels to go out in the world that as it is right now, and you really convey that really, really, really beautifully.
Thank you.
Actually, before I have a question. Your music I feel is really true to who you are, because we work quite a bit on these conversations in the individual meetings, and it's beautiful to hear them really have come alive, because I heard the embryos to the pieces.
Right.
So, and you were very diligent with coming and really working really hard on this stuff, and felt you searched pretty deeply as to what you wanted to do, how you want to put the pieces together. It wasn't anything haphazardly about it, and very detail oriented. And I can hear that in the music, because I feel that each voice or each instrument has a lot of room, that is not cluttered, even though it's very complex at times with a lot of counterpoint. It's still not cluttered, and it makes the whole, the bigger picture of the music feel very large and wide and spacious and beautiful, and you can hear all the different voices. So music invites you in for me a lot. It's really, really beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
Could you just explain about the mindset book? There's the growth mindset and the fixed mindset, right? Mm-hmm. I think you talked about the growth mindset more than the fixed mindset. Can you just briefly talk about that also?
Yeah, of course. So fixed mindset in the book, as she explains it, is the kind of trap of thinking that your talent or it's kind of like the famous IQ test, thinking that actually defines your IQ or intelligence, when actually that's just the starting point of where you can grow and get better at things. And looking at growth versus fixed is the growth version looks at it as a starting point, and the fixed looks at it as this is what I'm going to be, and I have to prove to everyone that this is good enough, rather than, this is just my starting point and I'm going to go from here.
Great, thank you. Well, congratulations. It was a really beautiful experience, beautiful 20 minutes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for all your help.
Thank you, bro. I got it. Maybe Stefano. Josh, as your advisor, I would like to have the word after Bruno and just congratulate you again. I think that I saw how much this year was, you really kind of encapsulated very well, and I really saw go through all these stages, and it's beautiful to see you today, compare when you arrived, and I really want to congratulate for this, and to me, your presentation, the music, I agree with Bruno, and everything you talk about is so sincere, honest, and earnest. And that's what my overriding feeling is. And I know you talk a lot about the inspiration as the topics, but I also know that you work very hard and diligently on the music. Maybe can you expand a little bit more from a musical standpoint, what were some of the influences, about some of the things you were working on to put together this musical suite?
Yeah. So for the first movement, I tried to take a lot of the elements I learned at Global, which was the tetrachords and a lot of the rhythmic things from the recordings that I received. So for the first movement, I took bits of the questions and the rhythms from the questions and layered them on top of each other in between the guitar and the flute, as the piano was just playing a C on each offbeat in order to create this sense of stability, but it's actually not stable. And then I layered the bass line was getting darker as the C was staying stable, and the two guitar and flute were using the rhythms, and it was pretty much atonal in terms of like guitar and flute, but we eventually got to the C at the end. But yeah, and Camilla was the pianist, so she was doing the tetrachords and getting brighter as the questions kept coming in and getting clustered and more over top of each other. So yeah, that's kind of my compositional approach on questions. And mindset was similar. I tried to take a rhythmic thing from one of the snippets I played of Carol Dweck, specifically growth mindset, like just the way she said that. I tried to take that rhythm and put it into the piece as much as I could. And then with the spirituality, I approached that a lot differently. I just went to the guitar and just started playing that melody and tried to find harmony for that. And I really wanted it to be ascending since it's supposed to be uplifting. And then with family, the last piece, you heard in the beginning like pages turning, and that was to represent this little boy, this statue of a little boy reading a book outside of my childhood home, which I placed up there. And then you heard voicemails from my mom, my grandma, and my brother and my aunt and uncle and my dad. And that was just to kind of almost showcase. The melody was supposed to be longer and breathable so that I had room to put those voicemails in. But yeah, that was my compositional process. Yeah, thank you.
Any other faculty or want to make a question or comment? Anybody else?
I have a question actually. So during the outreach programs, you several times took the guitar and started singing amazing blues. And so naturally. And you have so much talent for that. I'm wondering if you consider that. First, are you aware that you have that special talent? And second, do you consider that that is part of your musical identity?
Well, thank you so much, by the way, for the compliment. I guess I wasn't aware completely. I just kind of was copying what BB King does on on the records with Bobby Bland, and I love that music, and I hadn't done that a lot, but I figured Tarnay said, do you know any blues? Or someone asked Tarnay if she knew blues and any blues heads, and I was like, we should probably sing like something like, with BB King or something like that. So I wasn't aware of that, no. But I think it's a part of my musical identity. I think the blues is always a good, way of approaching everything. It's always been a part of the way I start everything. So yeah, I would say so. Yes.
Josh, congratulations. Yeah, to
Yes,
you.
sir.
Beautiful, beautiful presentation. And I'm very proud of you, man. Really, really seeing how you have come together and visualize everything and trust what you're doing. Trust what you your vision, what you are living, and just keep for the search what you're doing. The only comment I have to make is I would have liked to see, because this is a master of music, global jazz, I would have liked to see more of that process, musical process you talk. That makes it really interesting to me, because it's how you are contributing to the artistic, to somebody else who is a musician, how you make those connections. It's the interconnection of those ideas is what, so to me, it's like the way you were talking about the one note and what that meant to you, and this is very important for the thesis to have in the presentation. More of the compositional and music, the how things affect you to make the choices you make musically. It's really would be make it more powerful. That's the only comment I have.
Yes, sir.
But fantastic.
Thank you.
Well, let's congratulate us together, Josh, with a big applause.
Thank you.